Hannibal Brooks, A Journey of Survival and Friendship. The movie begins in the chaos of World War II, as British soldier Private Hannibal Brooks finds himself on the front lines of battle. A series of unfortunate events leads to him being captured by the Germans and placed in a prisoner of war POW camp. Yet, Brooks is not one to sit idly by. From the very first moment, his mind works tirelessly on plans to escape and return to freedom. What makes him stand out, however, is not just his determination to escape, but the extraordinary circumstances that will unfold in the days to come. The camp and the unlikely partnership. While life in the POW camp is grim and filled with routine humiliation from German guards, Brooks remains resilient. He builds relationships with other prisoners and often encourages them to keep their spirits up. On one fateful day, he and a group of fellow prisoners are chosen to volunteer for a seemingly innocuous task, to leave the camp and participate in a friendly hockey match arranged by the prison captain. But this isn't the escape opportunity Brooks had imagined. Instead, he and his comrades are led to Munich Zoo. In an unexpected twist, Brooks is assigned to care for an elephant named Lucy. At first, Brooks is bemused by the absurdity of his new role, but over time, he forms a close bond with the gentle giant. His duties involve feeding Lucy, cleaning up after her, and exercising her. Though far from the battlefield, Brooks begins to see the zoo as yet another type of war zone, a place where survival depends on patience, quick thinking, and resilience. Bombs fall, and Brooks' decision. The peaceful existence at the zoo is shattered when air raids rain down on Munich. Amidst the chaos, Brooks' fellow POWs seize the moment to escape to a nearby bunker. Brooks, however, cannot leave Lucy behind. With bombs exploding around them, he races through the burning zoo to rescue the elephant. When he reaches her, he notices she is injured, a large cut across her thick hide from flying debris. Brooks doesn't hesitate and tends to her wounds with the limited resources he has. His attachment to Lucy grows deeper, and his decision to save her sets in motion the rest of their remarkable journey. The zoo director, seeing Brooks' devotion, orders him to escort Lucy to Innsbruck, a city far from Munich where the elephant will be safer. They board a train together, but the journey quickly takes a turn when a military officer commandeers the train for the transport of German soldiers and war supplies. The zoo director then decides they must continue the journey on foot, walking through the Alps with Lucy in tow. An unusual journey through the Alps. What follows is a journey like no other, a British soldier and an elephant trekking across war-torn Europe. Brooks is joined by a small group, a security chief assigned to oversee the journey, a cook, and a few soldiers. Every 10 days, they are required to stop for rest. Despite the hardships, Lucy's presence wins the hearts of the villagers they meet along the way. Children are especially taken with the elephant, as they had never seen anything like her before. The warm reception they receive at these stops temporarily makes them forget the grim reality of war, but danger is never far behind. As they travel, tensions rise between Brooks and the security chief. During a heated argument, Brooks accidentally kills the man, leading to a tense cover-up with the cook and the other soldiers. They decide to hide the body instead of reporting the death, fearing the consequences of turning Brooks in. Brooks' moral dilemma and a tragic twist. Meanwhile, back in Munich, the zoo director grows suspicious when days pass with no updates from the convoy. The military is called in to track down Brooks and Lucy. To evade capture, Brooks cleverly tricks the soldiers, stealing one of their vehicles to make a quicker escape. However, he soon crosses paths with a former prisoner who had escaped from the camp days earlier. This man, a ruthless opportunist, lays an ambush for German soldiers transporting goods. While Brooks condemns the violence, he finds himself pulled into the skirmish. Lucy is once again wounded, and Brooks takes her to a small village to receive medical attention before continuing their journey toward the Swiss border. In a dramatic twist, Brooks, the second-in-command soldier, and the cook, who has by now fallen in love with Brooks, are captured by the Germans. Yet, just as all hope seems lost, the rogue detainee returns to rescue them. Together, they flee once more, this time heading directly for the Swiss border. Along the way, they encounter a group of German soldiers searching for them. In a daring move, Brooks uses Lucy to push timber logs onto the soldiers, blocking their path and causing their train to derail in a spectacular explosion. The final stand and heartbreaking sacrifice. As they near the border, the group encounters a high-ranking German general and the cook. The general, in a cruel twist, has set a trap to kill them as they attempt to cross into Switzerland. In a heartbreaking moment, the cook sacrifices her life to save Brooks and the others, throwing herself into the line of fire to create a diversion. Grief-stricken, but determined, Brooks hatches a final, desperate plan to get his friends and Lucy to safety. Using a rope and Lucy's immense strength, Brooks ties the rope to a guard tower and commands Lucy to pull it down, causing chaos in the camp. Amid the confusion, Brooks and his companions make their escape, crossing into neutral Switzerland with German bullets flying behind them. A hero's journey complete, the journey of Hannibal Brooks is not just one of survival, but of deep friendship and the absurdity of war. Against all odds, Brooks forms an unbreakable bond with Lucy, and together they defy the harshest of circumstances. The loss of the cook weighs heavily on Brooks' heart, but he finds solace in the knowledge that they made it to safety. The final scene sees Brooks, Lucy, and the others crossing the Swiss border, leaving the horrors of war behind and finding a fleeting moment of peace and freedom in a world that had been torn apart.